All right, guys, it's time to play a brand new game here on Sports Bluff called Impressed or Depressed, a game that I just invented today, and we're going to see how it goes, so leave us a comment and let us know what you think. Impressed or depressed? Impressed meaning that you love what you see, you're doing a double take, you want to see it again, and you're a little curious about it. Depressed being you want to go curl up in the fetal position and cry yourself to sleep like I do at night being a Bills fan. First up, let's go with the Giants defeating the Seahawks. Tristan, are you impressed or depressed?
You have to be depressed if you're a Giants fan. Look, okay, congratulations, you got the win, but you let the Seahawks come back, and let's just be honest here. The Seahawks aren't as good as their initial start led you to believe, the 3-0 start. The Seahawks offensive line is a big problem, man. If they had a good offensive line, they could really contend in the NFC. And we talked about it preseason. We said that was going to be the make or break element for the Seahawks. Well, it's breaking because we've seen when they have to play good teams, they fall apart. They couldn't beat Detroit because of the offensive line, even though they managed, defensive line, they had injuries. It's just the Seahawks, I think, were overinflated. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. Yes, the Giants beating the Seahawks is cool. It's good. It makes everybody feel good. Malik Neighbors wasn't there. Good on you. But does anyone expect anything from the Giants? They're going to win a couple of these games every year. They're going to win 2 or 3 games they shouldn't have. They're frisky, but ultimately, it's Daniel Jones. It's the Giants. You know what they are. This game doesn't do anything for them going forward. It doesn't save anybody's job. So I'm just going to not take more out of this than what it is and just being a one-off game. This game did nothing for me about either team. They kind of both are who I thought they were. Ryan, the Washington Commanders defense, impressed or depressed?
Buddy, I am going to go impressed here. And last week, holding the Cardinals to only 14 points, I thought maybe was an anomaly. But I'll tell you this, after holding the Browns to about 212 yards, 100 through the air, 100 on the ground, I know that the Browns are a bad team. But when you also couple that with what they did to Arizona last week, I think that you're getting a more improved defense here. I don't think it's anything to be ashamed of. I think as a Commanders fan, you can start to put hope in this defense now because at the beginning of the season, you were one of the teams where if you play fantasy football, you started all the wide receivers that played against you because you could let air yards go through like Swiss cheese. I mean, it was crazy out there. So as a Commanders fan, that I'm not, but if I was, I would be super excited to say that my defense is here to play football, and I think they're going to continue to shut down teams, especially when your offense is getting ahead by 3 touchdowns by the second quarter.
You're a little more hopeful than me, but I like it. Optimism. It usually doesn't last long on this show.
Let's talk about the Denver Broncos and really their fantastic win today against the Raiders, 34-18. Are you impressed or depressed about the Broncos?
I'm impressed with the Broncos, man. I am impressed, and it's because of one thing. It is that defense.
I thought you were going to say Bo Nix chewing out Sean Payton on the sideline.
I did like that.
Okay.
By the way, just a little interjection. That came from, I saw a Cowherd interview with Drew Brees, and he asked Drew Brees, what's the advice you would give to Bo Nix when he's getting chewed out by Sean Payton? And Drew Brees said, give it right back to him. He said, Sean Payton likes that. So then the fact that we saw that today means Bo Nix heard that and he took Drew Brees' advice. I love that. That's really cool.
You still got to have a big old sack of balls to go up to Sean Payton and give it back to him like that.
Brees said that's exactly why Payton likes it. He said he wants his quarterbacks to be confident, to feel like they can have a say in it. So I think Sean Payton really likes Bo Nix, but the reason I'm impressed with the Broncos is the defense. They are 4th in yards allowed a game. They are 3rd in points allowed a game. This is an absolutely suffocating defense. Patrick Surtain, arguably the best corner in the league, had a 100-yard interception return today. They smother everybody. I'm a Chiefs fan. We play in the same division as the Denver Broncos. I am not looking forward to playing them. Before the season, and you can vouch, I was toyed with putting the Broncos as my 7th seed in the AFC because I was like, I think they'll be good enough to squeak in. Ultimately, I went against it. I don't know if they are going to be that good, but they're one of those teams that I feel like they can beat anybody on any given week if the defense is playing like this. And Bo Nix is solid and getting better each week. You have to be impressed.
Well, the Chargers aren't looking that great this year. They already beat the Raiders today. it's looking pretty good for them to finish second place in this division.
Last one for the game, Ryan. You are a certified Jaguars hater. Number one on the internet, number one on Japanese Twitch streams. Let's talk about it right here. The Jaguars, they got the win. I called it. I said they had to win a game eventually. They defeated the Colts. You impressed or are you depressed?
Depressed. I can't help it. I know that everybody's going to be on me about, oh, well, Trevor Lawrence showed out today. He did great. He played. It's his birthday, okay? The guy, out of all the days of the year, aside from Christmas Day, which I don't think they're playing, what day do you play good football? It's probably your birthday. Why? Because he's probably looking forward to the after party later. I don't know. But what I do know is that Joe Flacco almost came back and won this game. It was very, very close, a lot closer than it should have been because the Jags seem to have handled it in the first half, and then the second half, they let it slip away. I'm not worried that the Jags put up 497 yards of total offense. I'm worried that the only throws that Lawrence seemed to make, those big impressive throws, were to wide open players. So until you can tell me that Trevor Lawrence is ready to play smash mouth football and hang in the pocket and throw and deliver darts like Baker Mayfield's doing, I'm not going to be impressed for a long, long time. Matter of fact, with the Jags, I'll just go ahead and hang my hat up and say I'm never going to be impressed with them at all while Trevor Lawrence is under center. I'm sorry. That's my take on them. I know that you picked them, and you can rub it in my face all you want to that they won, but they were this close to losing that football game.
No, I actually agree with everything you just said. I won't rub it in your face. I just picked them because, first off, I thought Anthony Richardson was going to play. If I had known Joe Flacco was playing, I wouldn't have picked him. So I just got lucky there. I just picked them off the sheer fact of they're going to win a game or two. I was like, they can't just lose every game. But I'm with you. I have no faith in them. I'm not believing.
There was a few first downs that Joe Flacco threw the ball like behind or beside a lot of the receivers. And honestly, I know if everybody can go back and take away plays that they messed up on, it would be a totally different game. But I think those were kind of the deciding factors. Like, it was very important throws that you didn't, during the game, it didn't seem like it would be that important. Oh, he missed a guy that was wide open. They got to punt the ball. But when you do it 3 or 4 times, it's like, well, if we were to get 3 or more first downs, this game would be totally different. We'd run the clock down and, you could have won the game that way. But look, I say this and I don't say it lightly. Joe Flacco is a successful quarterback, good enough to win you football games, and the Jags, they just outmatched him today. I'll be willing to admit that, but I'm still not impressed with the Jags overall. They got lucky today. I think Joe Flacco just wanted to be nice and give Trevor Lawrence a birthday present.
And to further your point, Ryan, people that are going to be like, well, Trevor Lawrence played good today. He played good today. It's not like he played excellent. He played today. Yeah, that's kind of what I expect my $55 million quarterback to look like. That's what I want him to look like.
Just stop your sentence at, he played today.
Yeah, he showed up.
He did what was anticipated of him. He's like begging for a participation trophy at this point. Like, coach, I finally threw a touchdown. Like, it has to be pretty depressing over there at the Jags. Even with the victory, it just doesn't seem like it's in good faith.